my god, it's like we can't have nothing in this fucking cruel world. Nothing.
There was always this huge agenda to tear down Nic and Olandria, and that's why there's going to be a lot of happy people that like to be happy in misery. What's up, everybody? The time may have come where social media is in shambles because Nic and Olandria may have broken up. That is what People is reporting, which is a fairly good source, I would say, for a breakup, with people telling people, sources from Nic and Olandria telling people that the split has happened. They will remain friends. They will continue to support each other, which of course is going to cause two things to happen on the internet. You will have their big stans, who will be very, very sad, and you will have their detractors that will be very, very happy, and that will be saying, "I told you so." They are PR, which we'll get into. You know, people are saying already that their contract ran out. It's like close to a year where they could have been on some sort of contract to get fame, I guess. I don't know. It is bad timing, I will say. Like, if you don't want conspiracy theories, I would say almost a perfect year breakup when the new couples from the new season are coming out. Not great timing for that. But also, if they did break up, you break up when you want to break up, I would say. I was going to wait to make this video and see if Nic and or Olandria said something themselves about the situation. At the time I'm recording this, they have not said anything themselves. I don't like when people are quiet when these things happen. I don't think that's good PR to remain quiet in situations like this. Put out some sort of statement. I think that is the best kind of PR, but they go through their own PR teams, and I'm sure their own PR teams have their own ways of doing things. Now, I have always supported Nic and Olandria on this channel. I have defended them when they have gone through the biggest bullshit shitstorms, the biggest conspiracy theories. Nobody from Love Island has been hated on more than Nic and Olandria. Not Anaya from this past season, not Huda from last season, even though Huda was bringing on a lot of hate by doing things after the season. There was always this huge agenda to tear down Nic and Olandria, and that's why there's going to be a lot of happy people that like to be happy in misery. But I also have always said on this channel that, like, even if Nic and Olandria are just trying to make a relationship happen, trying to make a relationship work, I always said that they were at least friends, and I still do believe that they are real friends, because they're trauma bonded together from this experience that they've had together over the past year. Let's listen to some reactions.
Okay, forget give me 10, give me like 5 months to process. If you guys haven't seen it, allegedly, according to People magazine, Nic and Olandria have broken up.
I also want to say this on the flip side. This is why I also don't stan people myself. Now, it's obviously everyone's prerogative to do so if they want to. But I don't like to stan individuals, and I certainly don't like to just flat out stan couples, because that requires me to be so invested that if something happens, I have to feel very, very bad about it. And I really do think there are a lot of Nic and Olandria stans out there that are feeling very sad today. And it is a sad situation. But someone else's breakup that you don't know shouldn't ruin your day.
Nic and Olandria broke up. And you know it's real because they went through People, which means that their publicists were the ones who put the statement out. Oh my god, it's like we can't have nothing in this fucking cruel world. Nothing. Like, no more Nic and Olandria, yet every single couple from season 8 is still together. Oh god. Oh. No, because you guys don't get it. I'm genuinely really heartbroken about this. Like, I am fucking sad.
Now, I think she was half joking, but there's plenty of people out there that are very fucking sad with this news. And like I said, it is a sad situation, but don't let it ruin your day. Like, if a couple broke up that you knew personally, I definitely understand that. But I'll never fully understand standing a couple that you don't know. That being said, it's not going to stop me from defending Nic or Olandria going forward unless they move very, very weird or did something very, very dastardly.
Nicolandria Nation, this is a tough day because we, for one, knew that if they ever broke up, it was going to be awful. People were going to say, oh my God, they was never together anyways. It was a PR relationship the whole time, even though they never really gave us PR.
I will say that is true. Nic and Olandria were hardly ever together that often to truly give PR, which on the flip side of that, if they were really trying to make a relationship happen, them continuing to be long distance was never going to work. And you can't tell me they didn't have the means for them to try and move in the same city. They definitely had the means to do so if they truly wanted to make this relationship work. Because they did talk about in the article from people that distance was one of the big things that played a part in this breakup, allegedly.
Neither here nor there. The real tea about Nicolandria Nation is y'all don't know. We built this from the ground up, brick by brick. Matter of fact, crumb by crumb. The girls are on Twitter getting back to their roots. You know what I've seen? But wait, y'all, but wait. Second chance romance. They're actually just breaking up so that they can date in peace. Actually, do you know what this food tastes like? A Tom Day a plate. Come on now.
Well, I will say this, though. Well, I think people should definitely keep supporting Nic and Olandria separately if they're like big fans of them. I don't think people should get too delusional about it, and you should just let them live their own lives. You know, Olandria just talked about this last month, saying about her relationship with Nic. Why does it matter if me and Nic are together? Why are you so invested in people that you don't know? That part creeps me out. I'm not living for the internet. And stuff like that would be very hard for a relationship as well. People wanting to live vicariously through you has to be hard for the relationship. I would think I would feel that way. And I'm also not saying, there's not a possibility that they don't work their way back to each other. Stranger things happen in life when it comes to relationships. Let's also talk about the cause of a lot of the speculation that goes on social media with this couple. Let's talk about it yet again.
It's noteworthy that a relationship still obviously has to be PR if a Black woman is involved. Like, why would anyone truly like or / want to be with a Black woman, right? Like, he would only do it for monetary gain. They would only do it if there was a check involved.
And the thing is, with this concept, now people are going to do this to Bryce and Trinity, which is also weird timing about this breakup announcement today. It came on the same day that Bryce and Trinity had their first real interview out there, I think with people as well, pulling off that double today. Where in that interview, Trinity and Bryce talk about Trinity moving to LA, meaning Trinity and Bryce would be in the same city, meaning easier to make that relationship work. But because it's LA, there will still be speculation that that's a PR relationship too. That's fake. They're in the same city, but it's fake. And I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happens for Anaya and Carl. They will have that same thing said about them at some point. It's just a PR relationship. Instead of just letting people live their lives,
This concept is really interesting to me, which, whatever, she has a crazy fan base and they're going to get mad, but I don't care. And mind you, I like them a lot as a couple. I think they're a really beautiful couple. But I think it's interesting to me that this conversation never happens when we're talking about Leah and Miguel. Like, Leah and Miguel are never PR to you, right? Like, they're the most organic couple ever. Even though if I'm looking at the facts of, like, what it would look like if a couple was PR, Leah and Miguel, to me, fit it perfectly. Like, he immediately moved to the United States after being with this girl for 2.5 weeks.
Now, I'm not going to come for Leah and Miguel, but yes, Miguel did try to become official in this country very, very quickly after season 6. However, they are still together. I like them as a couple too. I think they should live their own lives too. But it is a good point that this concept only ever gets brought up for interracial relationships when a Black woman is involved. I've said a lot about that on this channel. It does irk me. So in the end here, if it is the end of Nic and Olandria, they were still a buzzy couple. I don't care what anybody says. They had so much chemistry together last year. And I think both together and as individuals, I've always understood why they were able to build such a huge fan base that can go very hard for them. And we will see if that fan base goes hard for them separately. We will also see if they have any comments of their own, any statements of their own. I will talk about that in future days if that comes about, or wait until my Love Island USA weekly roundup this weekend. For all of you big stans of Nic and Olandria out there, I know a lot of them have been in the comments of this channel over the past year. Put your heads up. They always say to, don't be sad because it's over. Smile because it happened.